Okay, baby, won't be long. See you in July, hopefully. Good morning, YouTube, and welcome to the Pain Cave. Yep, I think over the next few weeks, possibly even months, I'm going to be seeing a lot more of this. And I'll be quite honest with you, I'm bloody glad I got this when I did, because this is going to be a real lifesaver. So we all know the score. Even though you are technically allowed one run, one cycle, whatever a day, I've made the personal choice not to go out on the road bike or the mountain bike. And the reason for that is that I think you've got to be a bit of a consequence thinker at a time like this. And if I take the bike out, there's always the potential that I'm going to stack it, especially if I'm on the mountain bike, because I'm absolutely terrible on that thing. So what if I stack it and then I need an ambulance and I tie up NHS resources that could well be used on someone who actually needs them? So it's a personal choice, and I know everyone's choosing differently, but for me, I've made the choice until things calm down a little bit, until the health service is in a good place, and we know it's in a good place, that I'm just going to stick to well, I've got a park over the road so I can run around the park, and I'm going to be using the Watt bike a lot more. Now, you probably know I'm a big fan of Zwift. I made, in fact, the video I made about the Watt bike, that was kind of 50% about Zwift as much as it was about the Watt bike. But what I don't want to do is I don't want to do Zwift to death. You know, already I've picked up practically every route badge there is. And because I enjoy it so much, I don't want to spoil it for myself. So I've been thinking about alternatives. So I'm going to make a couple of videos on the alternatives that I'm using. I'm going to do one on the Watt Bike Hub, because like I said in the Watt Bike video, I think that's a video in itself, basically. There's so much in there. But this morning I've downloaded this app. So this is RGT, or Road Grand Tour Cycling. This is a virtual reality cycling simulator, and you can get it on PC, Mac, Apple TV. It's a little bit like Zwift, but it's different in many ways. So how's it different? Well, Zwift actually feels like a video game. This does actually feel like a cycling simulator. This feels like the difference between the two would be Zwift would be like one of these World of Warfare games or something that you get on your phone, and this would be like Microsoft Flight Simulator or something like that, in that one is there to engage and entertain and be useful in the process, whereas the other is there to really kind of simulate the thing that you're doing. And this is where RGT comes in. Now, it's one of these things that you download in two pieces, a little bit like Zwift again, because Zwift, you'll download something to your PC or Apple TV or iPad or something like that. But then you've got the partner app, the companion app. Now, with Zwift, the companion app is kind of optional. With RGT Cycling, I believe the two pieces they go hand in hand. So, you know, you're going to need something to run the application on so that you can see, you know, what you're cycling on screen. Plus, you're going to need the partner app on, you know, another device. I could be wrong in that, and if I am, I'll correct it at the end. But what I did was I downloaded the RGT Cycling app to my Apple TV 4K, and I downloaded the partner RGT app to my Samsung tablet, the one that sits on the bars of the Watt bike, the one that I use. I use that with Zwift Companion, and I have to be honest, I am blown away with how good this app is. Now, you've got to keep this in perspective. It's not going to be like Zwift, okay? It's not that game environment. It's not that, you know, you get power-ups, for example, on Zwift. So you get these little, feathers that make you really like going up hills, or you get a little van icon that comes up that makes you sort of really aero going along when there's nothing in front of you. It's not like that at all. This really does simulate cycling. So as you can see from the app here, they've got a number of courses that you can ride. So we've got several ones here. I'm just sort of flicking through them. The course that I chose to ride today is Mont Ventoux, because this is that's kind of a real iconic ride, isn't it? So I'm going up Mont Ventoux today, and I'm going to see how this feels. What else can I say other than, okay, let's just clip into the pedals, start the Watt bike, start the apps, and get cycling. Alexa, turn the fan on. As someone who's coming to this from Zwift, I'm obviously going to make comparisons between the two. Now, the first thing I would say is that the graphics in RGT look and feel different to Zwift, actually in a really good way. Zwift really does have that kind of video game feel, whereas the graphics in RGT are just a bit more photorealistic. Running on the Apple TV 4K, the animation is incredibly fluid. The app also gives you a selection of camera angles, which is great. And I have to say that the first-person view is superb, even mimicking the bike swinging from side to side as you get out the saddle and leaning into corners. That's been really well thought through. I'm using Bluetooth to pair my bike and sensors, as this is the only option with Apple TV, but I have to say that the pairing process was incredibly quick and painless. Like Zwift, you can vary the trainer intensity, so I opted for 50% as that matches the setting I've got on Zwift. I will say that the ride feel with RGT is fantastic, very realistic, but I suppose it would be, given what I've said about it being a simulation. There are just a couple of things I'd like to see that aren't there now though. Most notable among these is the gear indicator that Zwift gives me when paired with the Watt bike. It's only a minor thing though, and the app is early in its development, so I expect we'll see features such as this rolling out with subsequent updates. Personally, I found the Mont Ventoux course really challenging, and to be honest, coming off the back of quite a heavy training week, all based on the Watt bike, I probably should have opted for a shorter or flatter course. In fact, I was feeling it so much that at 18 kilometres I was ready to throw the towel in. But honestly, just as my finger was hovering over the big red stop button, a French user sent me a chat through the inbuilt message feature saying simply, "Courage." Now, the last time a French person said that to me was the final lap of the marathon at Ironman Vichy. It's incredible, it gave me a huge lift. I simply responded merci, and before I knew it, there were positive comments and good banter coming from all over the place. Seriously, that got me through the last 7k. One really nice touch that I did notice as we got to the top of the climb is that they've recreated the Tom Simpson Memorial. Nice work, guys. So, I don't know if it's come across in the video, but I tell you, I love this app. I just think it's really, really well put together. It's really well thought out. And you know what? With the world as it is right now, it's the closest thing you're going to get to cycling on the road. These are unprecedented times. Everyone uses that word, but it's true. The world is on its head right now, and it all feels crap. But I tell you what, we live in an age where things like this, the technology that we have, means that we can do the things that we want to do kind of virtually. You know, we don't have to go out for a bike ride. You arguably, if you've got a treadmill, you don't have to go out for a run. Right now, guys, let's think about protecting ourselves, protecting those that we love, and protecting the NHS if you live in the UK. It's going to be a rough time, but you know what? We'll get through it. Something I've got to say about the RGT cycling app is at this time, they've actually made all of their premium features free. So, guys, thank you. Just from the whole cycling community, thank you for doing that. I'd say get behind this app. Get behind it now. It's fantastic already, and it's only going to get better. And you know what? with the support they're giving to the cycling community through their free option on all their premium features, we got to get behind companies like this, really, we have. So I tell you what, RGT Cycling, I'm going to be using your app a hell of a lot more. Probably won't go up Mont Ventoux again because I've learned that lesson. But yeah, thank you. Okay guys, thanks for watching this. Thanks for 10 minutes of your time or whatever it took to do this. What else can you do right now, hey? Let's be honest. But keep you and yours safe. Stay in, don't go out, be sensible, save yourself, save those you love, and save the NHS.